Hey folks, Coaster Guy here, and what follows is the Q&A with Mike Koontz from Coasterstock 2023 in its entirety. Just a quick note, when I set out to record this, it was more something I thought I would use to clip out for videos in the future, but I did get a pretty good view, so why not just post the whole thing? However, there are some awkward zooms or moments where the camera gets jostled as I'm shifting positions and other things that I normally would not want you to see. However, if you can forgive those things and you want to see the Q&A, here it is in full. So with that, thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.
And Vice President of Kings Island, Mike Koontz, for a very special Q&A. How's your day?
Pardon? My day is great. Isn't this weather beautiful? One of the questions that Jessica had on her list that I scratched out was, why does it always rain during Coasterstock? Or rain, right? So, hey, you know, it's great to see all of you. Some of you I see every day, Mr. Gaskins. Some of you I see almost every day. A lot of you came from far and wide. So anybody here from out of the country? Canada, over there. Welcome. Welcome. Anybody else? Canada, Europe? Just one? All right. So, you know, Kings Island is such a special place for not only you guys, for all of our guests, and our associates. And every year, for the last 3 years, I picked a song that we play in the morning before the park opens. So you guys never hear it, but all of our associates hear it. And it's a song that, is meant to inspire them, to get them in the mood to have a great day. I should play it in opening hours. But the song we picked this year, and every year, like last year, it was Celebration, okay, by Encore and the Gang. And we used that song in some of the shows throughout the year as well. But last year was all about celebrating our 50th anniversary. And any of you here last year? Oh yeah, cool. But this year, it was about, well, let me say this. So last year we inducted a couple new members into the Kings Island Hall of Fame. And one of them was Mr. Alton Fitzgerald White, who was a performer here back in the early 80s, who went on to star on Broadway. He did 4,308 performances of King Mufasa and Disney's The Lion King on Broadway. He's an amazing man. Did you get to meet him? So just simply an amazing individual. He didn't ask me to do this, but I'll plug for him. He's actually written a book. It's called, what is it called? I forget now. Anyway, it's a great book. So he has a website. If you go on his website, you can buy the book. It talks about his time here at Kings Island and his journey through life. But he's a new Hall of Fame member, in addition to Don Miller, who was Vice President of Operations here for many, many years, who really was the impetus behind the culture we have here at Kings Island. I see Mike Beater over there, right, Mike? So this year, the song, and I had never heard the song, but the song is called Hall of Fame by The Script. Has anybody heard that song? You guys have heard that song? Okay, cool. Anybody else heard that song? So, but to make it more exciting, I told Kevin Brunk, our entertainment manager, I said, let's rewrite the lyrics to that song to make it fit. Okay? And then let's record it ourselves. So we got Jeff Smith and his band. I'm sure all of you know Jeff Smith. I mean, he's performed here for many, many years. We got Jeff and his band. And then we selected 4 of our singers. Not Jessica. Sorry, Jessica. Kyle Dopkins. Kyle's worked here for many, many years. His sister Haley Dopkins, she starred in Off the Rails last year. Let's see here, Caitlin Potts, she was in Phantom Encore last year. Thanks, Jessica. I'm getting old. My brain, anyway. And Dustin Paris, who was also in Phantom. And they did a wonderful, wonderful job. And the way the song starts out is, you can be the greatest, okay? You can be the best. But then we changed the words. You can be the leader, showing all the rest. You can set the mark. You can beat the goal. You can make a difference. Go and change the world, okay? Throw your hands up, okay? That song, every morning plays for our associates. And they know, what the meaning behind that. Because this year we said our goals for the year is to be great. Okay? I think Kings Island's great every year, right? Right. However, sometimes you have to emphasize things. So great stands for, hey, these are things that our normal guests don't know. So these are things that I'm telling you, okay, our special Coasterstock fans. Great stands for the guest. Take care of the guest every day. Do everything you can to make that guest experience meaningful, creating memories, and just being your best that day, in that moment. R stands for retention. We want to retain our associates. Hey, this park will operate without me. Trust me. I was in Columbus yesterday talking to about 600, believe it or not, about 600 4th and 5th graders. It was my granddaughter's school in Columbus. I had a blast. I'm telling you, they wore me out asking me questions. Okay? So retain our guests, but retain our associates. That's key to being great. Okay? E stands for engagement. When you see our guests smile, be engaging with the guests. Be engaging with each other, with our associates. Smile. Say, hey, how's your day going? Okay? A is accountability. We need to hold ourselves accountable that we're doing the right thing every day, every minute of the day, doing things safely, responsibly. Hey, and at the end of the day, we are a business, okay? And be financially accountable for our results. And T, the last letter in this acronym, is one team. Kings Island prides itself, and Jim Flugel knows this, we do everything as one team, okay? It's not just the merchandise team, or the rides team, or the games team, or the food team, we do things as one team. People step in and help out where it's needed, okay? So that's just a little tidbit, a little insight into how we do things, maybe kind of like behind the scenes, and so, and like I say, every year is different, and a lot of my fellow GMs in the other parks say, can I steal that? I'm like, no, you can't steal it. That's Kings Island. Come up with your own thing. Do your own thing. And I think that's what makes Kings Island special. It's not just me. It's all of our associates that do what they do every day, day in and day out, to make you, the guest, feel special. Okay? And when you don't feel special, we want to hear about it. And trust me, I mean, as hard as we try, again, look at Jim Klugel, he knows he worked in communications for years. It's like, not every guest leaves happy, right, Jim? But we try everything we can to recover, to retain that guest so that Kings Island can continue to be that special place. That all of you come and enjoy every day on this beautiful, sunny, 77 degrees. What a beautiful day. Anyway, it's all right. So I'm going to take a few questions, and Jessica's going to ask me the question, and then I'm going to attempt to answer.
Awesome. And then, just going on what you said about how special this place is, a lot of people, I don't think I've ever said this publicly, but I actually quit music until I got the call to do Winterfest. And my husband said, you gotta do that. You gotta buy a guitar, you gotta do it. And because of Winterfest, that's why I have a band and I'm back singing. And so I owe pretty much everything that I have in music to Kings Island. So, yeah. All right. So we'll start with the first question. What has been your fondest memory of Kings Island?
Wow. Every year, this time of year, this is a special memory. Being with all of you, spending time with all of you, answering your questions, that obviously is going to be number one, right? Okay, but however, my favorite memory of Kings Island, there are so many. Jessica mentioned Winterfest. The first year of Winterfest in 2017, it was kind of like we were putting this together, and I was like, and trust me, people were here working on Thanksgiving Day. I was here with my wife. We had our Thanksgiving dinner in the Fest House. Okay? Wasn't exactly how I planned on spending Thanksgiving. However, going back to one team, okay, we all did what we had to do. And when we opened that night, the first night of Winterfest, it's kind of like, it was magical. But that, I would have to say the nighttime announcement when we announced Orion, that quite honestly gave me goosebumps. That was, I will never forget that night with everybody standing around cheering. It was like, just everything that went into that night and that announcement. The other one, like I said, I got a lot. The other one probably was last year on April 29th. Kings Island's 50th birthday party. We had a lot of retirees. We had former, leadership of Kings Island. We had, local and state, the mayor, the lieutenant governor. But we had the 7 still living general managers of this park here on that day. There's only been 11 general managers, I'm the 11th, but we had all 7 here on that day. And just feeling that, that dedication and that, on every one of them, now I know on every one of them, how they think, how they made Kings Island what it is today. So it's part of history.
All right. Next question. Outside of Kings Island, how many parks do you visit annually, and about how many roller coasters do you ride?
Yesterday, one of the 4th graders, 5th graders asked me a very similar question. How many roller coasters? Do you go and ride roller coasters every day, all day long? And I'm like, no. Quite honestly, I don't have the freedom to go out and travel the country and visit a lot of other amusement parks. I plan on doing that maybe in a few years when I decide to retire. But this summer, actually about a month, I'm taking my family to Southern California. My grandkids, I've got a 14-year-old grandson 11-year-old granddaughter. They've never been to California. So we're going to Knott's, we're going to Universal, and they twisted my arm, and we're going to Disney as well. Okay? So I've bought some really comfortable shoes, but I enjoy riding coasters, but outside of the Cedar Fair family, I really don't get to any other parks. Of course, I've been to all the Cedar Fair parks, well, with the exception of Michigan's Adventure. I've never been to Michigan's Adventure. Maybe when I retire, I'll go to Michigan's Adventure. I like to ride rides, but I'm not a ride warrior. Now, if I was 20 years younger, probably, but anyway, so.
All right, I think we have the same answer to this question. Which Kings Island roller coaster is your favorite?
You think we have the same answer? That's a hard one. I get asked that a lot too. Every year I get asked, what's your favorite ride? And in 17 it was Mystic Timbers, because that's when we opened Mystic Timbers. Mystic Timbers, I think, is still a really, really, really good ride. And then in 19, my favorite ride was Antique Cars. And then in 20, obviously, it was Orion. Yep. And then last year, we retracked a lot of the Beast, and we retracked a lot of the Racer. But quite honestly, hands down, my all-time favorite is the Beast. Why not?
I agree with that. That's my favorite ride too. All right, are there any plans to do a springtime food and drink event like Cedar Point's Frontier Festival or a kids event like Canada's Wonderland's Kids Fest?
Yeah, very good question, because we're always looking for special events, to bring to the park. In 19, I'll give you a little bit of inside track. Grand Carnival, when we decided we were going to do that, it started out to be, a Kings Island International Festival to celebrate the history of the buildings and the inspiration behind International Street. With the Italian building and the Swiss building and the French building and the German place. Anyway. And now, but it transformed into Grand Carnival. And I'm excited that it's back this year. Obviously last year we were celebrating our 50th, so Grand Carnival kind of took a year off, but it's back. And Grand Carnival and other events like that, we will continue to look for ways, again, being a business and being selfish, give you another reason to come and visit. Okay, that's what it's all about. Find a way to get you to come every day, like Nick, every day, okay? Nick doesn't need a special event every day, but, we've tossed around a lot of different ideas of things we can do in May and June, as a special event. But it has to be right for Kings Island. It's like, one of the crazy corporate executives one day asked me, he's like, Mike, why don't you do Boysenberry Festival? It's really popular at Knott's Berry Farm. I'm like, that's their thing. We don't have boysenberries here. So we could do a Skyline Chili Festival. But yes, we're always looking for, if you got any great ideas, let Jessica know.
All right, next question. Is a new app for phones being worked on?
Oh, new app for the phones. Yes, there is a new app. The new new improved app being worked on. Again, it's a Cedar Fair wide app, so it's being worked on at the corporate level. I know mobile ordering, is coming back. I think it's really, really close. Really, really close. I think Carowinds has already rolled it out. Has anybody been to Carowinds? Used it? Hey, Carol, did you use it when you were there? Okay. Is that Carolyn? Yeah. Hi, Carolyn. Cedar Point has it up and running? Okay. But, I'll tell you, one, we have a mobile app. Two, it's not to the standard that me or Chad or Don, want it to be. Right, Chad? Right. So they are working on it. I don't have a timeline. What I wanted, my suggestion to them was, we have two groups of guests. We have our season pass holders, and I know a lot of you keep track of how many ride, how many times you've ridden antique cars. Is Jeff here? Jeff Hellman? He's not here. How many times has he ridden antique cars? Do you know? 3,601. 3,601. Okay. So congratulations to Jeff. But he keeps track of that on his little notepad. Okay. So wouldn't it be cool if you were able to keep track of your rides in a mobile app? Is that going to happen? I don't know. I hope. Maybe. So anyway.
All right, your ops team always does a great job and on their A game during Coasterstock, but we would like to know, how do you get these ride crews to be as excited about early morning and night ERTs as we are?
You think they're excited? No, they are. Go back to Don Miller, who was Vice President of Operations here for years. The ops team here is absolutely phenomenal. Every year we're audited by IROC, International Rides. Cedar Fair works with them. They come and they do audits. Kings Island Ride Ops team always scores way above everybody else. Way above everybody else. As a lot of you know, I do pay attention to your the season pass holder Facebook page. I'm a member of that. I don't post in it. I just look at it. And you guys keep me busy reading all your posts. But what I really love is when you compare Kings Island to other parks, especially our sister park up north. And especially when it comes to our ride ops team versus their ride ops team. I love it. So keep doing that, because some days, believe it or not, I'm not always as chipper as I am right now. I need a little pick-me-up. So just know that I'm paying attention. So if you want to post something on there, it's like, hey, Kings Island. And that makes me feel happy. It puts a smile on my face. But seriously, our write-offs team, whether it's Coasterstock or any event that we do, they're top notch. They have great leadership. And from Don Miller on, we've had a few VPs of operations since Don. For some of you may not know, Tony Carolano, who was the GM of Worlds of Fun, is back here as Kings Island's VP of operations. And Tony started here 37 years ago as a train conductor. Tony is phenomenal. Tony, trust me, the one thing that he focuses on every day is, number one, safety. Okay, making sure everything's done safe. but ride operations is his passion. You know, and that filters down. It's kind of like I mentioned the song we do every morning. You know, that's part of it. It's just creating that culture of people who, they love what they're doing. We take care of them. You know, they love to see the guests happy. You know, and especially when we have special events, you know, like Coasterstock. A Kid Again is another special event that we do with an organization here that, you know, provides hope, healing, and happiness for kids with terminal illnesses. And those type of events, our entire team, not just the ops team, but our entire team rallies around and is really on their A+ game on those days.
All right. In your opinion, what are the biggest challenges for Kings Island right now?
You know, I get asked the question periodically, what's the hardest part of my job? And the hardest part of my job, and you know, trying to answer this question, the hardest part of my job is I can't fix everything. You know, I want to. You know, I want to fix everything. I want to make everything right. And that's really hard. You know, going back to, like I said, I mean, you know, we really pay attention to when guests aren't happy and they have an issue. Can't fix everything, but we try. But, you know, the challenge for Kings Island right now, I think, is, you know, continuing to do things, I don't say this. This was a good question, because you can tell I'm stalling, you know, but I think it's perpetuating, you know, what we do. I go back to, I'm the 11th general manager, and every general manager is different. So what I want to make sure that I do, you know, is set the next general manager, whoever that may be, you know, give them the legacy, the playbook, you know, the tools, the resources, the people, the talent that they need to be successful. So I think it's continuing to do what we do, but always figure I've told my team, you know, that we're not about meeting expectations, we're about exceeding expectations. And you look at all the metrics in the industry we measure, you know, some of you may have received surveys when you visit, you know, after you visit. And those surveys add up to what's called a NPS score and an OSAT score. NPS stands for, I know I'm running overtime, guys, but you know me, so NPS stands for Net Promoter Score, and OSAT stands for Overall Satisfaction. And Kings Island consistently scores way above, you know, all other Cedar Fair parks, but also scores above, you know, what the industry should have. So the hardest part is when I look at my team, you know, my management team or seasonal leadership team, and say it's not good enough to just meet that level of success again. We have to exceed that. And that's what's hard. You know, it's continuing every day, every year to figure out ways to be better. Okay? You know, so that's in my mind, that's the biggest challenge facing Kings Island is, you know, keep doing things better than we did yesterday.
All right. Which Peanuts character is your favorite and why?
Okay. I bet a lot of you think I'm going to answer this and say Snoopy, right? Or Charlie Charlie Brown, Linus. No, my favorite Peanuts character is Schroeder. You wanna know why? Man, I wish I could play the piano like Schroeder. You know? I think it's really cool. You know, it's like the way he plays that song is like when my daughter plays the piano when she was younger, and she begged us for piano, and she did really well. Okay, you know, and I was always trying to get her to play that Schroeder song. What's the name of the song? You don't know what's the name of it? Linus and Lucy. I always wanted to try to get her to play that song, and she's like, it's really hard. That song is really hard. So yeah, my favorite character is Schroeder, because I wish I could play the piano like him. I can't even play the piano at all.
All right, last question. Did the use of drones in fun fireworks in 50 change your thoughts on what a nighttime show should be?
Wow, yes, absolutely. You know, last year for that show, if any of you follow the Golden Ticket Awards, you know we came in second. Fun Fireworks in 50 came in second. I was so disappointed. Seriously, a Christmas show at Fiesta, Texas beat that? Oh my gosh. Jeff Siebert and those guys down there, you know, they must have stuffed the ballot box, I'm sure. Tim Baldwin and those guys, Jeff Siebert, I think, yeah, they had the stuff. But you know, when we started talking about this year's show, you know, there were some components of that we said, we've got to do again, and it becomes part of the legacy. You know, so I'm not going to let us get out of that. However, you know, there will be drones in the nighttime show this year. So we also said, you know, how until last year we always picked some popular song, like in 17, I think it was 17 or 18, we did The Greatest Showman. And I remember the next year when we didn't do The Greatest Showman, everybody's like, why don't you do The Greatest Showman again? We love that. Can't win, okay? So this year we've written a special song just for that nighttime show. I've got it on my iPhone. I listen to it in my car every morning on my way to work. I crank it up to about 30. You know, sometimes those cars you pass on the road, you know, they've got the big bass in the car and it's boom, boom, boom. Well, that's probably me too. So I crank it up. So I really love the song. I love what they're going to do with it. It's, again, a show that you don't want to miss. All right? Sorry, Betty, I'm out of time. I'm not going to do a madhouse yet. I have to talk to the attorneys about that. Yeah, it says lawyers. Anybody a lawyer here? Yeah. All right. So, hey, you know, one last thing. So, Adventure Port, you know, as you've probably seen, I mean, they're working on Soul Spin right now. The rest of the teacups, the rest of the barrels, I shouldn't say teacups, but the rest of the barrels, you know, are supposed to show up, I think, today, tomorrow, something like that. Yeah, again, we've just been patiently waiting on everything to get here, but you know, you've seen the crane there where Soul Spin is, you know, they're working as hard and as fast as they can. You know, I don't like the fact that, you know, it's not open yet, but you know, I can't fix everything. All right, thank you guys very much. Enjoy the rest of your day.